So today I actually woke up in a very good mood and I thought to myself, it's a very good time to make a brand new Pokemon team and test that team against a friend of mine or an opponent anywhere on the internet just to see how well I can still wager up against somebody. So what's good, guys? Kyprotonic here. Very long time since you probably heard my voice. I do remember updating my channel about 2 weeks ago with the year anniversary of my life. So I do appreciate the people that actually took the time to check out that video. I've seen some of the feedback as of like 2-3 days ago. I will try to respond to those comments as much as I can. So, yep, OU today against Effect from T-Flare. And without further ado, let's just begin this battle. So not really knowing what he would like to lead with because, you know, 5th gen, you can just lead with anything. I just wanted to lead with my Politoed just to get the rain up as he leads with his Rotom. Now, I don't want to reveal what type of set I am off the start, so I'm going to switch out, going to the Ferrothorn. He shows me Thunder Wave, which is something I kind of don't remember seeing at all on a Rotom. So, yep, first turn, I'm kind of like baffled by a Rotom straight off the start. So, predicting his Heatran switching, I'm going to go for a layer of Spikes here. I could have Power Whipped, but you know, the safe switch for him to do there was to go into the Heatran. I'm going to double switch switch out into my Landorus Firion form to take the predicted Earthquake, or if he wants to set up his Stealth Rock, that would be pretty good for me as well. So here I kind of didn't actually expect the Hidden Power Ice, and that's probably due to my rustiness at this game, because I went into Firion form Landorus just to set up the Stealth Rocks, considering I didn't see a Rapid Spinner on his team. So I'm going to switch into Politoed here. I'm kind of going to have to reveal my set a little bit more now. I'm going to have to go for the Toxic, predicting his switch out into something. Thankfully he goes into the Rotom. I'm going to go for the Protect just to rack up a little bit of poison damage on his HP. Now I'm going to make a switch out, and I guess he kind of makes a prediction of me switching out into something. That's why Conkeldurr comes in there. I wasn't too sure what he would like to go into. I just wanted to go into Ferrothorn just to get up another layer of Spikes. Considering that my Landorus was gone at that point, Stealth Rock was out of the question. So I'm going to go back into Politoed just because I'm a defensive set. I do always remember this, and I always forget. This is really annoying. I always forget. Eventually, you'll probably see in this game that Conkeldurr is actually Guts, but I go for the Scald whilst he brings in a Celebi. From recognizing from his team, I do remember saying to myself, I've got to be careful of Celebi because that could potentially cause a bit of trouble to my team. You know, it's Celebi, it's bulky, it's grass, so just gotta be careful there. So he sets up a Nasty Plot. I didn't actually expect that at all. I kind of thought maybe he would be more defensive. He still could be running defensive EVs with Nasty Plot, sorry. But you know, with like me not playing a game in a very long time, I'm just gonna take anything that I see as like a new thing to my mind. I don't actually expect anything anymore. So I go into Latias, predicting maybe the Grass move. I sort of remember Celebi's usually carrying like Grass move and maybe Earth Power if it was a Nasty Plot back in Black and White 1, but you know, that doesn't work out in my favour. So Latias goes down loose, going to Starmie, take out the Rotom with a crit Scald, which is great, but you know, crits happen. So he switches into Latios. I'm going to switch out into Ferrothorn, predicting the Choice Specs standardish Latios, going for the Draco Meteor. So I'm going to make a double switch, which is probably a good play on my behalf to switch into Keldeo whilst he brings in the Heatran. That's what I kind of expected him to do. I could have gone for a layer of Spikes, but I think putting more pressure on him, considering that I've already lost 2 members on my team, was the best thing to do at that point. So I am actually a Choice Scarf Keldeo, which is kind of a major threat to his team. It's a major threat in Rain, actually, probably looking at the thing overall. So, a Choice Scarf, Hydro Pump, easily knocks out the Mamoswine. Probably looking at it, Mamoswine was probably useless to him, considering that my team could easily handle that. So, going to Ferrothorn at this point, I'm just going to go for the Leech Seed, sort of predicting him to maybe switch out. I didn't want to reveal at this point that I kind of had Thunder Wave. I don't know if Thunder Wave actually is a good move to carry on Ferrothorn. I'm actually carrying Spikes, Thunder Wave, Power Whip, and Leech Seed. So, you know, Ferrothorn sets can always vary from what I remember, so I kind of like that set. I don't know, it just probably annoys people considering that Thunder Wave is not always expected. So, yeah, in comes probably the only major threat to what I remember on his team, which was the Conkeldurr. I switched back into Politoed because I'm a defensive set, and this is where at the point where the game I kind of put all my thought process about Conkeldurr being something else other than Guts ability. I'm just fishing for a burn here with the Scald. It's doing a decent amount of damage, but, you know, Conkeldurr does have good HP and good, usually special defense investment. So, eventually I do get the burn, and I'm thinking, okay, this isn't going to do too much. And then I'm like, oh god, that's doing too much. And at that point, I just put down my DS, went straight on to Bulbapedia, and I just looked up the ability of Conkeldurr. I know at that point I was like facepalm because I should have remembered it does have Guts. Now I'm guessing burning a Conkeldurr isn't a bad thing, but considering that Guts give its attack a little bit more power once its status is very, very bad for me because that Conkeldurr is kind of overpowered at that point. So I'm going to Starmie knowing that a Mach Punch probably won't take me out. If it was +2, then I could be saying goodbye to my Starmie as well, but I made the Scald was my only move of that play there. I don't know if Scald is actually a good move to have on a choice specs Starmie, but I kind of do like it just in case if I run into like Tyranitar, or I can always obviously run Hydro Pump, but I don't know. I'll have to play around with that and see how it works out. So he switches into Heatran, I go back into Ferrothorn, you know, whilst he did Latios business. So yeah, kind of predicting maybe he would switch out into the Conkeldurr. I'm going to go back into Starmie at this point. Yeah, there's not really much I could do at this point. I could just always just predict him to do the safest move because I obviously do have the advantage at this point. I'm going to go for the Choice Bit Scald, easily take out the Heatran. I guess he didn't want to lose his Conkeldurr considering it could still do a bit of work to my team. So Heatran goes down there, in comes back the Latios. I'm going to go back into Ferrothorn, predicting him to make a safe play, knowing that my Starmie is still a threat to his team. He goes for Psychic, which is something I didn't actually expect. I kind of expected Psyshock, more or less, but whatever. Conkeldurr comes back in whilst I Leech Seed. At this point I'm thinking, okay, maybe this Conkeldurr will do one attack and then potentially I could take out it next turn. I don't know, this is why I switched out here, go back into Starmie, kind of expecting him to go for the Drain Punch, knowing that I do resist it. It still does a decent amount of damage considering I have no defense EVs at all. I take that actually pretty well thinking about it, but you know, maybe he doesn't carry no attack EVs to begin with without any bulk ups. I don't know. I used to always carry like attack EVs on my Conkeldurr. I don't know, because Starmie's defenses are quite paper thin, so I go for Ice Beam just to take out the Conkeldurr, just on the off chance also he might want to bring back in the Latios, but he doesn't. So at this point it's pretty much game over because he's only down to his Latios and he can only lock himself into one move. As I gathered he would be a choice set. So I go for Thunder Wave, and on the next turn he's actually going to run. So guys, please check out Effect, also T-Flare. I hope you also enjoyed this game. And without further next time, I will catch you guys next time. Bye bye.